29 Zambian men were trafficked to South Africa. These were IT professionals, and they didn't realize what was happening.
What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. You could have said that with me. That's all right, though. We have a sister here who is doing a profound job and is really trying to chop down the trees of sex trafficking, an issue that is a worldwide problem. And she wants to really share with you all the signs to notice who and how those type of situations happen. But yeah, first and foremost, please, sister, introduce yourself.
Right. Hi, everyone. I'm here with Go Black to Africa because I missed it.
That's okay.
But my name's Cassie, and yes, I'm Zambian. I'm born and raised here.
Yeah.
My background's actually in IT.
Oh.
Yes. So
all right, IT.
That's actually what I studied.
Yeah.
But I've just, for some reason, always been passionate about women, particularly women in the commercial sex industry. And that's, to be honest, I think God just put it on my heart.
Okay.
And so since college, I started to just kind of reach out, basically build relationships, have conversations, do research. And as I did, I started to learn about human trafficking.
Yeah.
And once I graduated, I looked for opportunities where I could volunteer. So I went in 2016 to volunteer in Thailand as a volunteer caseworker. And that's where I really saw the horrors of human trafficking like I'd never seen it before. Like, you can never be prepared for that kind of stuff. Like, I tried to prepare myself. You know, you watch documentaries about all this kind of stuff. And then you go there and you're like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
So, you had mentioned about you really had an interest in this.
Yeah.
I know people are going to be interested. Were you affected by this? Were you caught into this yourself, being a young lady, or?
Interestingly enough, no.
Okay.
It's so weird. Like,
yeah, that's okay. I mean, I know people will be curious, like, was she involved in it? Did she find herself in that? And all that right there.
Right.
Okay. So who would be affected with this in the demographics of male, female, the age groups? Who do you find that really are those who are into this sex trafficking?
Man, look, human trafficking in general, anyone is.
Yeah.
Anyone is. I mean, even I could be, literally anyone. Like, poor, uneducated, educated. I have seen all sorts of types of that's a repetition.
All types of
people be trafficked. So, like, in Thailand, for example, one of my cases was a lady who, she was actually a graduate, like she had graduated with a degree and whatever. And she got this opportunity, I don't know if it was from a friend or whatever, who told her, come to Thailand, you could work for a few months, just like 3 months, and then you go back home, while you wait for your paperwork and all that stuff. And then she came to Thailand and discovered, oh snap, this is not what, this person said it would be. And so the person took her passport, used the law enforcement to threaten her. And yeah, basically she just had no way out. And that's the kind of slaves, I mean, that's the kind of chains, that's the word I was looking for. Those are the kind of chains that people use these days. You don't see people in literal chains when it comes to modern day slavery. But it's, I'm going to take away your freedom by taking away your documentation or your ID documents. I'm going to use law enforcement, because they're well connected with law enforcement. So I'm going to use them to threaten you, scare you, make you know that even if you report it to law enforcement, no one's going to believe you, right? They used to use little like Thai gangs to beat people up and threaten them. Particularly in Thailand, they would use witchcraft as well. That was a big one. So, I'll bewitch your family. I know where your family stays. They use your reputation. I'll tell people what you're doing here. So you could either just comply or I'll ruin your marriage. So there's this married women, who came and trafficked and forced into prostitution, and we rescued them, and they're like, my husband can't know, and now they go back home and nobody knows, and they literally keep this stuff in, and God knows how they survive, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's an organization that they basically take away your freedoms, your liberties by your paperwork, what have you. They basically threaten you and all, and then they put you into this whole sex trafficking thing.
And then they before that though, they lure you, right, with
I was going to get into that, right? Because I know that we had talked off the cameras about who are these people that lure you. You said it could be your family member, it could be friends, it could be these recruiting agencies, it could be a lot of these bogus places that are saying they hiring in these countries that you could find yourself actually caught in it. Wow. Absolutely.
Like, I couldn't have said it better. You literally listed them out. It could be family, it could be friends, could be recruitment agencies. An example, a story we learned recently was 29 Zambian men were trafficked to South Africa and these were IT professionals, and they didn't realize what was happening.
Wow.
And they were treated so well. You know, this is someone, in fact, they reached out to one person and said, hey, can you help us find IT professionals? So he recruited his friends, not knowing what he was recruiting them for. They flew them into South Africa. They put them in a hotel for like 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks said, hey, company's running out of money, we might need to shift you. So now they're shifted from a hotel to a warehouse. And then slowly liberties are taken away. Oh, we just need to keep your passports, safety. Oh, no more food, no more. Now your movements are restricted. Before, I think by the time they realized it, it was like, something's not right here. Something's not right. One of the guys tried to run away and actually got arrested. And they used that as, you see, if you try to run away, that's what's going to happen to you. And these guys actually had to be rescued by, I think, the Zambian embassy there in South Africa. And this is just an Indian company that's recruiting for like free labor, basically. That's what they want.
Free labor in the sex trafficking.
This was particularly in like the IT world. So sex trafficking is one thing, but then there's like labor trafficking as well.
Labor trafficking. Wow.
So, and that's what most men are recruited for.
I'm about to say, what group of men are going to go ahead and be pimped?
No,
we getting pimped. And,
So men and boys usually are trafficked for labor.
Labor.
So there's sex trafficking, labor trafficking, domestic, involuntary domestic servitude. People are trafficked for organ harvesting. People are trafficked. What else? Just a whole bunch of reasons. Yeah.
So what is the craziest story that you've seen out here, or the most saddest story, or the story? My wife. I back in America, my wife takes precautions because she's a woman, and sometimes she's like, the people out here snatching people, and I'm like, babe, you're in your 50s. Who wants an older 50-year-old woman trying to put her out here to be sex trafficked? Do you find older women caught up in this, or is it more for younger women?
I mean,
because usually they're going to go for the good-looking young girl, those who, that are the desirable ones. Not to say my wife ain't desirable, but
you're gonna get in trouble.
I know, but they're looking for the more innocent, women who that they know that men are going to be more drawn to, who's going to make the most money out of these ones that they can. I
mean, I think of Thailand, and there were all kinds of women.
There was all kinds,
all kinds. This is like, you had young girls, children even.
Yeah.
Right, and then you had youth. And I worked with some older
What was
women.
the youngest youth you saw?
11.
Which I'm surprised, because in America, you have infants, babies.
Yeah, and that's I know in those parts of the world there's I mean, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went to Thailand, I went to a place called Walking Street. That was the first night I arrived. I like off the plane onto a bus to Walking Street, and that's like one of the, I think, the biggest red light areas in Thailand. And there you see everything. I mean, it's the first time I saw sex menus. Like, what is that?
Menus?
What is that?
Wow.
Like,
I heard it's kind of crazy over there too, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like, and people, you know, different age ranges, and you see, like, you know, little children like dancing, entertaining tourists on the road, and you're like, there's no enforcement officers here. What's going on? Does anyone not see this? You know, there's, you know, women in the windows, dancing, different nationalities. Like, it's pretty intense. And I mean, there you get all sorts. Yeah, I mean, I worked with older women. Older, and I think the point is the market for it. They want different things.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah. There's some perverted folks out here that's
really, and so, you know, it can be anyone. And the sad thing about trafficking, so apparently it's one of the most profitable. Like, it's probably more profitable. Also, you know, I need to do my research more on this one, but I think it's more profitable than drug trafficking, right? Because with drugs, you use it once and you're done. Whereas when you traffic human beings, for example, women for sex trafficking, right? You use her here and then you can sell her off somewhere else.
Sell her off somewhere.
And then they use her, and then, you know, you can reuse this person until, like, you don't need them anymore.
You mentioned...
I'm
sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
You made mention too that you know that this organizations out here, these places out here are so crafty. They can create fake passports to transport people across country lines and into other countries and things. And that is just it's crazy to me. You know, it's really crazy.
Yeah.
But what other information would you want to share as a means of precautionary measures one should take or they need to do to make sure they don't get caught up in such acts?
Right. I mean, first and foremost, we all get excited about traveling opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me speak for, you know, Africans, I guess, because I'm coming from here, right? We love to travel. We love opportunities to work, study, whatever it is. There's nothing wrong with that. No one's stopping you from doing that, right? But you just need to be careful. Like, sometimes we get too excited that we stop thinking. We don't want to do our due diligence. We don't want to ask questions, you know. So I think it's important to always make sure that you check the background of this organization. Don't be afraid. Check with embassies to say, there's this scholarship opportunity, there's this job opportunity. Does this organization exist? You know, is this scholarship legit? Like, they would know, right? And if they tell you it doesn't, listen, like, you know, because the excitement, again, you know, because you want it so bad, you don't want to let it go. It's like, no, find out the details, find out the truth, and then if you're told the truth, it's okay. Other opportunities will come. Let it go, you know. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. There's these, you know, I see a lot of these ads on Facebook, you know, work in Canada, no qualifications required, no this, you know, that. I'm like, really? You know, like, which country is just trying to hire, you know, anybody and everybody? Just check out the opportunity. The simplest way is just call the embassy and find out. You know, they would know. Like, they would know. And then do the right processes. They're long and they're hectic and they're whatever, but it keeps you safe, because if something happens on the other side, your country knows, you know, that, you know, you registered with them. I'm leaving the country, I'm going to work this side, right? So you're definitely more protected than if your country doesn't know that you're leaving the country. I know of cases of ladies who just disappeared.
Yes.
Nobody knows where they went. You know, we gave them information, this and that. You know, they messaged us when they got to a certain country and said, hey, started asking for money, and you're like, hey, are you okay? Is everything fine? And then all of a sudden, like, you don't hear from them anymore, and you just like, all you can do is pray for them. But no one knows, right? No one knows where they are. So just make sure your country knows as well. So I mean, in Zambia specifically, if you want to register, if you want to go out to work, check the processes with the labor office, for example. That's stuff that again, it's hectic, but it protects you. So I think that's very important. I think that would probably be the most important thing, is just do your due diligence, do your homework when it comes to these opportunities, and make sure that they're legit. And then make sure you just have contacts, in any place you're going to, just make sure you know someone.
That's why my consultations are very important when people are traveling into Africa, because I have some very reputable contacts.
Right.
Yes.
Right. It's so important. Like, I mean, if you don't know anyone, like, just find the nearest, I don't know, consulate, embassy, something.
Yeah.
Just so you have some place that you can, reach out
in America,
to.
on travel.state.gov, they have on there a registry where you put your name, the countries you're going, how long you're going to be in that country, and so that then you have to give emergency contacts so that they at least know where you are. So if something happens, they have, like, something happens in that country and they need to remove maybe the citizens, or if you go missing or something, there is something like that in place too.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if we have that.
Yeah.
But at least if they have, your location, they would know where to start.
Yeah.
Like, just give them a place to start.
Yeah.
Right. And I think another thing would be, so we didn't mention this, but one of the means that people use to recruit and lure people into trafficking, being trafficked. So we talked about scholarships, we talked about work opportunities, but there's lover boys as well on social media, and these are literally just specifically hired to just find cute girls or boys.
These dating sites and stuff.
Social media.
Social media.
Just build a relationship. It's just a few months of commitment for him. Once they get you to the other side, it's done. I get paid, and I'm looking for another one.
Wow.
Right. And
women, be careful. Even men.
Men,
be careful. These
so
dating sites and these meetups and stuff like that.
So look, we're not saying you can't find love online. Just, again, be careful. Don't be too naive.
I found my wife online.
Right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, but don't be too naive. Like, we had.
But then who wants us old ones though? Like.
Yeah, but like, if you're gonna, don't make rush decisions. Like, you haven't met someone, and suddenly you're gonna make a whole trip to the US. And if it's a man, let him come to Zambia. Let him meet your family. If it's that committed. Let him do the most.
I would say this too right here. Yeah. Let the man come to you. I've told women that right there. If you're going to a man, he ain't a man.
I agree.
I would say this too, family, is that anytime you're doing business or you're trying to get jobs in other countries and stuff, your camera is the most important thing. Take pictures of those agents who are that you meet with. Take pictures of them, pictures of license plates of buildings, so that at least there might be a starting point if something happens. They have a location. So you record your journey along the way. If you are, if you're meeting people at airports, hey, let's do a selfie. You send that picture to a friend who send it to somebody else, so that there is a record of your every step along the way. So that will at least help if something do happen. They're not in the dark, just trying to start from nowhere. So
I mean, I guess, lastly, just look, trafficking doesn't look like it used to back then anymore. I mean, I'm sure kidnappings do happen. I mean, it's been happening recently, but I think more so now, it looks like an innocent opportunity.
It does.
It looks like innocent love online. It looks
a
like
job,
a friend,
innocent job.
Just trying to help out. It looks like a scholarship. It looks like sports. There's something, an art
when
something,
when I was
country.
coming up, the whole thing was, don't go to strangers if they tell you they got candy for you. Now they're dangling jobs in front of you, dating opportunities and relationships.
Yeah.
These is now in the place of candy, luring a little kid in.
Yeah.
They're luring grown adults in 20s and 30s and on up with these other type of crafty scams or schemes. Yeah.
And don't think that you can't be lured, because sometimes we think, it's poor people who are looking. No, it's anyone who's looking for greener pastures.
Wow.
Who's wanting a high life even.
Yeah.
You might have a good life and you're looking for a higher life somewhere, like it could be anyone, So the important thing is just, a lot of the stuff is common sense stuff.
Wow.
It's think, it's do your homework, it's keep in contact, with those that you love. Let them know, it's simple things.
Yeah.
I'm on the plane. Okay, I just arrived. This is the place. Like he's saying, document your journey. That was really good. I really like that. I'm gonna
no
take
problem.
some notes.
That's all right. That's all right. I worked in security, so
yeah. So
okay, family.
Yep.
Very important information, sister. We appreciate you for giving us a wealth of knowledge, and I hope that each and every one of you all share this video with somebody so that we can go ahead and defeat this whole thing of this sex trafficking or trafficking people into these bogus job opportunities, whatever can happen to men and women. And that's it, family. So this is your man, and this is your lady. There you go. We gonna say it together now. Go black to Africa.
I'm gonna say America.
All right. Don't say America. No. Peace out.
Think about it, 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 think about it.